that it's not even like fair anymore. So I figure the best thing that I can do is try to duos with people that I trust and stuff. So the guy that I duo with is the Morales Capre here. Um, and I've seen him just go up and down between low levels, between silver 5 and gold as well, basically. I picked Imperius here. I was third pick in the draft. I picked after Ragnaros secured for the off lane, and I said, perfect. I'm gonna try to go counter Rag in the off lane, basically with Imperius, and I literally went the off lane build that you gave me.
Okay, yeah, sounds like a good plan. And yeah, so it's just gonna go like last time, where I kind of just ramble and kind of give my thoughts, and at any point, if you want to clarify anything, just ask.
Gotcha.
Okay, so your Morales gets hooked. Okay, so right away, you should be looking. So always try to be aware of everything that's going on. Sometimes you can get caught up in the camera lock and in your own kind of POV that you're not focused on everything. So try to have that full view of everything and notice what they're gonna do as well. So already, like whenever they have the stitches, everyone should, anytime they have a hero that has kind of a longer range engage level 1, you should always be like mindful of that and like try to already be prepared. Okay, what's gonna happen if he hits a hook? Okay, if he hits me, I probably need to try to spear out right away, because otherwise I might get silenced by Stukov or Valera. And if he hooks someone else, okay, I'm gonna have to try to peel right away. And the same thing with like if they have a Dahaka drag, similar idea, or like any engage hero, right? Like sometimes it's a blaze stun. So always try to orient yourself of like always thinking about what they have and what we have, and like how they're gonna play and how we're gonna play. And sometimes you have a really good idea, and sometimes you're like not too sure because like you're not too familiar with their heroes, or you don't really know like how they're gonna play. So always try to adapt as well. But already level 1, so your Morales gets gone on here, so you should already be seeing this and like already starting to move towards to stay in front of her. Because anytime you're Morales, like rule 1 is like always peel for the Morales and try to stay in her range, right? Because they're gonna try to focus Morales down while she tries to heal everyone else. So already like Morales is out of position here, got caught in the bush. So I'd already be moving towards this area and maybe looking to block the hook, or at least like kind of putting your health bar in the way, like kind of your body in the way. That way they can't get to her, right? So that's like
Gotcha.
the first thing you should be doing here. So because you went for the wave here, which is like the normal thing to do, right? Assuming she doesn't get caught. So you did do the right thing, but you always have to try to adapt to everything that's going on and try to notice everything that's going on. So she got caught and she got hooked, so it's like kind of a worst case scenario. So you could have right here. You have a couple options here. So you could either go for the spear here on these two guys. You can also, another big thing I forgot to mention is with Imperius. You should always be looking as well to follow up on your team CC if your team has any CC. So this game you've got the Blaze Stun. So that's always going to be a guaranteed spear anytime your Blaze Stuns first. So it's always a good idea to like try to make the game easier for yourself in terms of like, okay, anytime Blaze stuns someone, I have 100% spear. And 100% spear is almost always a good thing, especially because since he stunned him, your team's probably going to focus him. Like, let's say the Ming combo would come in, or just in general, right? If you have like any stuns, it's good to like, you want to like layer the CC as well so that they're stunned for a really long time. So you have like his 1.25 second stun, and then you have your own 1 second stun. So instead of him being stunned for only 1.25, he's stunned for 2.25, right? So always a
Yeah.
good idea to like try to layer that CC. So me personally, I probably would have tried to either layer here, or I would try to go on these two guys to try to peel for my Morales. So either of those plays is good. And you did go for the spear on Cassio, so that was the right idea. You just missed. But again, like if you were in a slightly better position, it might have been easier for you to land that spear.
Okay.
And yeah, she got caught. She's dead. Sucks. Happens. Get some good trade damage here. And yeah, your team trade 1 for 1. Got another spear. Nice. Beautiful. Can't finish. Uh-oh, got hooked.
With a Valera follow up immediately, I was like, okay.
Dang, and we almost got her. So that was good
I don't know what
overall.
happened with Ming there, but
I mean, got a little too antsy for the resets. Yeah, considering that fight started with your healer getting hit by literally everything, not too bad for level 1. Okay, here, going for Rag. Love it. One thing I would say is keep in mind with Imperius that you can only have 3 marks on someone at a time. So I always try to proc the mark before I get another mark. So
what does
what I
that
mean
mean?
by that is like right here. Okay, you have 2 marks on him. So what I would do is before I spear, I would auto attack him. That makes sense. Especially because he's already slowed. So I would get in that auto attack and then Q him, and then your E will give you another mark. So you'd get like 2 more marks here. So like
You
right,
basically want to do 1 hit per mark to get the best out
yeah,
of the situation because every time it heals you and it does the 2% damage to him,
yeah,
what percent damage?
yeah. It does 20% baseline, and then yeah, with the talent, it does another 2.5.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically you lost like 1 mark here because you didn't auto him before you speared. So yeah, it's just a small thing right there, kind of a nitpick, but
Got you.
also your auto went on the wrong target here. One thing to make sure in your settings, I don't know if you have this enabled or not, but one of the best settings to have is in gameplay in the settings. Always try to have this attack move target point. I don't know if you use this, but try to have this enabled. And basically, what this does is whenever you attack move, whenever you do you press A by the way, or do you only right click?
I do not right click at all. I only press A.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So yeah, if you have that enabled, attack move target point, it basically just gives you a little bit of leeway so that stuff like this doesn't happen, where you accidentally auto attack the minion here. So if you press A like anywhere near the guy, the game will kind of give you the benefit of the doubt, and your attack move will go on him. So yeah, make sure you
Okay.
have that enabled so
Yep.
that
We'll
stuff
make
like
sure of
this
that.
doesn't
Thank you.
happen. So yeah, that kind of sucked because you lost 1 auto attack there, which yeah, kind of made you lose out on that trade. You also tanked the wave there, but overall not too bad. And then I probably would have went for the spear there for 1 more trade. Oh, you're getting chunked really hard. Ooh, yeah, the wave is just kind of murdering you here. Oh, that was really risky. I'm surprised he didn't die there. Yeah, you just gotta be a little bit careful whenever he has the wave with him there. It gives him, like, basically you tank like 300 damage from creeps there. Otherwise, you would have won the trade for sure. Beautiful, beautiful, nice. He tried to man up and he found out. He messed around and found out.
Yeah.
Alright, clearing the wave. I noticed you took a little long to take your talent. I think we talked about this last time as well, but always try to have that
Mm-hmm.
discipline. As soon as you hit 4, any talent tier, you should always be instantly ready. So what I like to do is while I'm doing other stuff, like if I'm watching the map or if I'm backed or like right here, you kind of have this small amount of time after you killed the guy. But even beforehand, you should always already be thinking about, all right, what talent am I taking next? And like already have that. You can have it favorited or you could just have it memorized on like 1, 2, and 3. So I always try to remember like, okay, control 1. For me, that's how I do it. Control 1, or like here, control 3. But you could also favorite it and have a hotkey for that as well. Which do you do? How do you normally do it? Do you click it or do you use hotkeys?
So after my last coaching session with you, that's all I do now is control with the one above tab for the favorites. And
Okay,
if I'm
perfect.
playing like an ARAM where I don't know the hero, I just control 1, 2, or 3 or whatever now.
Okay, yeah, perfect, perfect. Yeah, so that's a really good habit to keep reinforcing is that you're doing control 1, control 2, control 3, or your favorite, whichever one works for you. And so yeah, I always like
Yeah.
to, whenever I hit 4, you should already instantly be clicking it. And it's like, okay, well, right here, it doesn't really matter because this guy's already dead and no one's here. But the important thing is that you're building on that habit because there could easily be a situation later in the game where in the middle of the team fight, you hit level 10. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, if I already have that discipline and already have that habit, now I've already skilled my ult instantly, and that can definitely be the difference maker. And it's often a difference maker, even in my games as well. Where like, okay, we got a kill when we were 15-15, and because that kill gave us a burst of experience, we instantly hit 16. And because like I had that discipline and that habit of instantly taking my 16, like I've won the fight just off of that, where like I just instantly took it and got that instant value. So always try to build on that habit. Always be instantly taking talents, no matter what, and the more you do it, like the more automatic it'll become. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So here, clearing the wave, good.
Oh, here's a question for you when it comes to Imperius, because I actually had a conversation with some rando about Imperius, and I
Mhm.
asked him why he took the level 1 talent that he did, and he said because he watched one of your videos, and then he like went and shared the freaking video with me about this is what Kure takes when it comes to Imperius at level 1 because it provides wave clear. So if you the level 1 talent, it's the W
Mhm.
at level 1 with him. He says that like there's that video on YouTube of you playing him on Tomb where you're just jumping through walls left and right with a Q, and then you picked that at level 1 to help with your wave clear or something. Do you have any thoughts on that for the level 1 talents?
Yeah, so Tomb is a unique map for Imperius where Tomb is probably the map in the game where wave clear is the most important. So
Okay.
definitely on Tomb and maybe Infernal Shrines, I'd consider the W at one more often. I mean level one's kind of flex. You can go all three. Burn the Imperial is definitely the best for like dueling, which on a map like Dragonshire, it's definitely more important than the wave clear. So
Okay.
yeah, I default to Burn the Imperial. Very occasionally I'll take Consuming Flame if I do want the wave clear, but you do lose out on a lot of damage here. So yeah, usually I just default to burn. But if I do pick it on a map like Tomb and I am solo laning, then yeah, the W just helps a lot for making sure you're ahead on the waves, and then whenever they do get a spider, it helps a lot for helping clear that out. So that's like a more tomb focused thing.
Got you. Okay. Thank you.
All right, so here brawling again. Okay, again auto to creep. So yeah, hopefully the attack move will help with that. Nice, good damage. Perfect. We're a little low, but so is he. Got the tap, and yeah, you're So one thing probably, so I'm gonna rewind a bit. So probably here, what I would have done after you very first killed the rag. So we'll rewind quite a bit. So after you very first killed the rag rather, what you should have done is you should have just, so right here you killed him. You should have stayed here because right here this wave is really important for you to get and make sure that this crashes into these towers because otherwise your wave is going to kill this wave and you're not going to soak it. So even though you're going for kind of a greedy play to cap mid here, it's not really worth it because they could stall you potentially, and you're losing out on an entire wave here. So one important thing to note is always prioritize the waves over the objective unless you absolutely 100% know you can cap the objective. So like let's say we knew for 100% that we're gonna hold bottom, like we got a ton of kills and they're all dead for a long time, then you can like greed here and go for mid. But see, Rag, he already spawned and he's already on top, so he's able to take top away. So that's just like kind of an
Gotcha.
internal timer thing of like he just spawns too fast, and yeah, what
Yeah.
you
It's
ended
too
up
early in the game.
yeah, and you ending up missing out on this wave, and now you're not able to back. So you're kind of low already going into it. So yeah, what would have been better is you just cleared this wave and instantly back. That way you're ready to fight again.
Okay.
Because see now instead we kind of wasted time here. We lost an entire creep wave here, which really sucks. And we got kind of caught up in a brawl down here. And so yeah, the missing this wave here was really big, and also the fact that now you're kind of half mana, and it's also that the wave is evened out now, whereas before it would have been the wave would have been over here. So you kind of lost on a bit of advantage there. And then yeah, you just auto a creep. Let's. And this is fine. Yeah, you're autoing creeps a lot. So yeah, hopefully the attack move target point will help a lot. And I will say this spear is not good because he's too close to his towers. So even though you're gonna spear him and chunk him, you're gonna take too much return damage because the towers are gonna hit you. So like right here, you tank one, two, you tank two tower
2.
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it ended up being a
Yeah.
bad trade for you. So yeah, a little bit risky going under the towers like that, unless you're already like you have such a health advantage. Like let's say you're max health and he's like already low, then it's fine, right? To like make sure you chunk him out all the way to make him back. But since you're already like kind of half HP, it was like too risky. And then yeah, here you should have noticed he tapped already, so there's no way you can win this all in. If he didn't tap, you probably would have won, or would have been kind of close because you're as well. So looking at your mana as well. So yeah, here is just we can call it a limit test. If you did have mana for your E, I think you would have won this. But it's also you have tap up, so it's like kind of too risky to go for that.
Yeah.
But hey, you killed him, he killed you, it's fine. 1 for 1. We get him back. Okay, so here as well, so going mid is bad because this wave is gigantic. So you gotta make sure you deal with this wave first. Even though mid is also a problem, or like a couple waves here, it's more important to deal with the immediate concern, which is this gigantic creep wave here. So see, there's only 3 minions here, whereas here there was
So,
7
just
minions you
real
lost.
quick. So currently, between looking at my build and Rag's build currently, who has the upper hand right now
You should definitely
when
have
it
the
comes to
upper hand.
dueling?
You should
Okay.
definitely have the upper hand. The only thing to keep in mind is if he has a ton of creeps, like if he already cleared the wave, then you gotta watch out for that because the creeps do hurt a lot. So you gotta keep
Yeah.
that in mind. Like you probably don't want to fight when he has an entire wave here. But if the wave is evened out like this, you should definitely win this. And then also keep in mind, be careful for his towers. And then one other thing to keep in mind as well is that they do have a Valera. So anytime you're playing against a stealth assassin like this, I always try to keep an eye on the minimap and make sure we know where Valera is. Or anytime they have any ganking heroes, so if they have like a Muradin, Genji, Zeratul, Tracer, so on and so forth. Like
Hmm.
Valera is another example. Like, and so you want to keep an eye on the map. So like right here, you see her on the map, so you're good to go, and you should definitely win this brawl. But yeah, big thing here was you missed out on this gigantic wave. So making sure always whenever you die like that, you should be thinking about, okay, should I go top or mid? Okay, so mid there's only 3 creeps here, but top there's like a bunch of creeps on your tower, so you should have rotated top. And yeah, you could have went for a brawl here before you cleared the wave. You could have went for a fight here. And yeah, so you missed out on this whole wave.
That was when I was trying to get the dragon down there. Okay.
And he had top control as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why you went mid. Yeah, that was definitely
They
a
were
mistake.
pinging me to get the dragon, basically.
Uh, okay, so yeah, here you could have fought him here in the wave. So you want to be aggressive with Imperius with the duels, especially against Rag or against most heroes. You can win the all-in duel on the wave like this. So right here, this is bad for you because you're playing passive here while he's free clearing the wave. So you want to be aggressive here and take this fight. Especially like another thing to note is that he tapped earlier when he killed you. So his tap is going to be a long cooldown. Actually, we can look at it. Yeah, his tap is still a minute away, and yours is up. So anytime your tap is up and theirs isn't, you can also like take a more aggressive duel. But even if both your taps were down or they were both up, you still win this duel. So yeah, right here, too passive. You want to fight before he clears the wave.
Okay.
And yeah, you should be looking. Okay, nice, clearing the wave, and then so you got a decent trade there, but you can still win the fight. So okay, I like that. Spearing over. Be ready to man up if he fights you. You can definitely win this. Nice. Oh, Blaze is here. Perfect. So what I would do is I would hold spear here. Nice. You can spear that. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Got a little long. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a weird mechanic. I don't know. I still haven't even mastered how to go through the walls like that, like you do.
Yeah, you're just a little too far. But the big thing is here when he slowed him with oil, you could have walked right here and went for the kill. So
Do you
you
have to be pressing anywhere with like right click, or do you just go up to a wall and it just cue like in the direction or something?
Yeah, basically that. So you want to make sure that you want to make sure you're as close to the wall as possible. That's the biggest thing. So make sure you right click all the way up until you bump into the wall and
Okay,
then you go. So yeah, like right here you path right here with right click. And
got you.
then big thing to note as well is kind of like I said earlier with the blaze stun as an easy, guaranteed stun. It's similar with the oil as well. It makes it a lot easier. It's just like when you W them, right? Whenever you W
Yeah.
them, it makes a really easy spear. So like right here, he's oiled. So yeah, walking up to right here, and then you can go for the spear over this wall. And this should be right here, guaranteed kill if you walked right here. So you prioritize the point, but you gotta realize like, okay, we can just get the point after we kill him. Or like
Yeah.
Blaze can get it while I finish the kill, right? So the kill is more important than the point here. So we kinda let him get away scot free, which is unfortunate, but at least we got the point. Okay, so you're resetting. I like that. Going back to top. This is good. Want to clear out these waves. Perfect. Okay, so you go for the dragon. We should be able to get it here, I would imagine. Nice. Good. Sieging. You can also just kick this guy. Yeah, nice. Eat. This is all good. So what I would do here now is, now that they have 2 heroes on me, and the top wave is something that no one is soaking, what I'd like to see you do here is, after you finish this tower, right? So like right here, I would breathe one more time, and I would run to top lane to make sure that I get the soak. And it's also, you're kind of spreading their resources a little bit. So if you go top lane, they're gonna want to follow you to top. So you can kind of drag them up here to match you. And as you do that, that gives your team some space to either go for some push down here, over here, or they could potentially look for a kill while the enemies are split. So it's always a good idea with the early game Dragon Knight, like before let's say like 13, 16, 20, before kind of the late game phase, you want to make sure you're splitting with the Dragon Knight and trying to draw them away from your team so that your team can get value, and also that you can get value. Because like, let's say you go up here and the enemy team isn't that smart and they only send like 1 hero to you, well, you can keep kicking that hero while you're getting free push. And you're also soaking the lane as well, which is really important. So making sure you're still prioritizing soak even with the dragon. And also,
You'll still pick up the dots even in the Dragonite. Okay.
yeah, you still pick up the dots, and you clear the wave really fast with the breath as well. And it's also like right here, you're kind of taking a ton of damage because they all are starting to come to match you and to defend you. So you kind of also want to play kind of the timer with those. So you have 50 seconds. That's like a ton of time, you know? So I like
Yeah.
to drag this out. I almost always like to let the timer run out before my health runs out, or kind of let them run out at the same time right now, right? So like here, you're 78% HP, and you could have ran top while you're 78% HP, but you kind of took a lot of damage here. Actually, it's not too bad. But I still would like to see you go top to make sure you soak it, and you could have worked on these towers while your team fought them mid. So yeah, early game DK, always want to be splitting with it, basically.
Okay.
And you do go for the bottom split, so this is good. Splitting, as long as you're splitting somewhere. I would like to see it top just because no one else is soaking this, so making sure get the soak is really important. But I love that you split here. This is the right play, 100%. Splitting in general, and see how much free damage you got.
Yeah, on a fort.
Oh,
I didn't
and
even
you
realize that they had both.
you yeeted her into the fort.
Yeah.
Nice, love that.
And Morales got the fucking kill. I love it. He was all talking shit and in comms. He was like, "Yeah, who the fuck do you
Okay.
think you're charging this shit?" I love it.
Oh, beautiful kidnap there. Love that. Another spear, nice. Oh, don't tell me he'll. Oh, that's tragic. Okay, pretty good overall. Okay, just brawling a bit. Almost got that spear. Uh-oh. Nice, went over the wall, so there you go. You did it right that time. Got really close to the wall. And nice, we survived. Perfect. Oh man, there is thinking. Okay, so this I would say is a pretty risky play from you. So always thinking about the numbers game. So right here, you see your Blaze is top, and
Mm-hmm.
your Li Ming is dead for 1 second. So you guys have 3 heroes maximum, and they have 5 heroes maximum. So you don't want to fight here unless you see someone top. And even if you see someone top, you still want to keep in mind, or top or mid. If you see someone top or mid, then you could maybe look for a fight. But even then, you want to keep in mind that it's still going to be potentially 3v4. So always try to count the numbers here before you go for too risky of an engage. So right here you see 3, 4, 5. So they have 5 and you guys only have 3. So this is too risky from you. It's better to just give this camp instead of potentially getting hooked or potentially finding yourself a little
Everybody
bit in too
dying and
deep.
we lose a fort.
Yeah, exactly. So it's better, like, okay, whatever. They want our camp, it's fine. Blaze is getting towers top. They're missing out on XP. We're getting this XP here. we can easily clear this giants later on whenever they do, like, because once they get this camp, if they stick around here, they're losing too much on the map, right? So it's fine. But you want to like kind of wait a bit. At least you want to wait for your Leeming before you go in here to make it a 4v5. But 3v5 definitely too risky. Yeah, I wouldn't have went for this engage. Even though
Okay.
you kind of Giga Chad manning up here. Oh my gosh, big graviton. So it ended up working out 4v5. Even though it did work out, I still think it was kind of a risky play, but I guess we call it a
Absolutely.
limit test. Call it a limit test. But again here, so this is kind of the situation that I was talking about earlier, is during the middle of the fight, you guys hit 13. So this is exactly what I mean. So right here would
Mm-hmm.
have been a great time if you had that habit of like, even as you kidnap the guy right here. It's like right here, this 1 or 2 seconds that you're dragging him. This is where I would have taken my talent and making sure I have it for the rest of the fight. So
Got you.
you basically played this whole fight without your 13, which is kind of a big deal. But you see, Ming did it. So Ming was the only one,
Wow.
I think.
Yeah. I'll Blaze too. And
Well,
he's top
he's
lane. It
top, and
doesn't
he
even
doesn't
matter.
count. Yeah, he's got a PhD in PVE over here.
I like that. Should he be top right now? Or tank?
Yeah. This is fine. I mean, the thing about Blaze and Imperius, you kind of are both interchangeable as a tank. So, I mean, it's nice if you're top because you own the Ragnaros, but it's also nice here since Rag isn't matching, so he's just getting a ton of value up here. He got the whole wall and a ton of XP. But yeah, it's good
Good
either
idea.
way.
Told him to switch right there.
Yeah, I think it's completely fine that you go
Okay.
top. Either way works, honestly. Like, your fighting as a main tank is also really good because you have Zarya and you have Morales, so that kind of makes
Mm-hmm.
you a lot tankier. So you can work as a main tank, you can work as a main tank. You guys are kind of both interchangeable. In a higher level game, it would actually kind of be reversed though, where Blaze would be solo laning. And the
Okay.
reason behind that is because Blaze's wave clear is just so good that he can double soak middle, top and middle, and you guys could fight them 4v4 bottom. So
Got you.
that would probably be better for you guys, like in an ideal, like theoretical situation,
Yeah.
because Imp can definitely be a main tank, especially with the additional support of Zarya Morales. Just makes you so much tankier. Kind of as you saw, you guys
Gotcha.
basically won a 3v5 here because
Right.
you're getting you're getting the big heals and the Morales W and the Zarya shield. So yeah, it's definitely really nice to have that additional layer of support. But going solo works as well since you do destroy the Ragnaros in the 1v1. Okay, here Blaze gets caught. You're a little impatient with the spear, so anytime you're on a flank, always remember that you have a little bit extra time, especially when they're focused on someone else. So, okay, so you turn around here. So whenever you're on a flank out of vision here, you can get really close before you commit because they're not even looking at, they don't even know you're here, right? So you can take your time with this spear. So even if you look at their vision, they don't even see you. So it's a good idea if you sneak into this bush first. So you kind of like were a little too hasty, which, I mean, you wanted to save your homie, which makes sense, but you can be a little bit more patient in situations like this and make sure you
Hmm.
guarantee the stun because yeah, you're on this side flank, which is a good spot to be in. But yeah, you're just a little too fast, and you ended up
How are you
missing.
switching back and forth between the vision, by the way?
I'm just pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 second.
Oh, and going to the heroes?
Yeah. So I was on their vision right there. Okay, back to yours though. So yeah, a little too hasty with the spear. I think even if you land it though, that blaze was in no man's land, so he was probably still
Yeah.
dead. But again, good habits.
Okay, so I see Ragtop going back to the off laning duel here. So we're mid game now.
Yeah. So
Uh,
right here, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you, looking at Rag's build and my build, who's better off? Who's got
You
the
for
upper hand?
sure. You
I
absolutely.
still have the upper hand. Okay.
Yeah, against basically every hero in the game, Imperius will win the duel. I'd say the only ones that'll be tricky would be like Rexar, Leoric, and maybe Kira are like the three that would beat him. And then maybe some of the others if you get outplayed, like if you miss some abilities or you're
Sure.
like low beforehand. Or even like the rag like earlier when you were just out of mana and you tanked a couple of tower shots. But in
Yeah.
general, throughout the game, you should be able to beat up someone like Rag. And here, what I was gonna say is that, so right here they have bottom control, and your Blaze is dead. So it's actually really important that you contest this point before you clear this wave, because you don't want them to secure the top point. So what I would have done is I would have walked up to this wall and speared over, and even if you miss the spear on him, you should still be able to win that duel.
Okay.
So instead of clearing, so clearing the wave first is the right idea only if you guys are winning bottom at the time. Because if you're winning bottom at the time, then you have time to give up this point and it's no worries because they still have to work on bottom, right? But because they already have bottom, it's like pretty urgent that you don't give this up no matter what, unless you're just absolutely too low or you're getting ganked by multiple heroes. But in a 1v1 duel like this, especially in this favored matchup, you should be aggressively making sure you hold this point and getting him off of this. Because now he capped it for free, and now they have the Dragonite pressure, which is pretty terrifying for your team. So yeah, you should have just speared over this wall and went for the fight. And here I wouldn't even fight him. So since you did decide to clear this wave, you should just ignore him and go for the point. And the reason behind that is because now when you go for this point, first of all, you're taking away their Dragonite pressure. And second of all, you're putting him in a tough spot where now he has to decide between giving up this wave and chasing you to fight, which you should win once you get him over here, or he has to let you have the point and get this wave. So, but you don't want to just straight up fight him because he's kind of wasting your time because you want to be spending this time getting on this point right away so that they don't cap the dragon. So this is kind of a bait. He's kind of baiting you to fight. Even though you win this anyways, it's still a bait. And one thing I will say as well is when you clearing this wave here, you want to use your 1 instead of your E. So yeah, again, you should have not went for the wave. You should have fought him. But since you did clear the wave, in this situation, you want to use your 1 because you want to save your E for in case he does fight you.
Okay.
So using the 1 here instead of the E, if that makes sense. Because
Isn't
he,
Holy Fever like no mana too?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
no
it's just
mana
25 second cooldown.
and you save your
Okay.
E for the fight, right? That's like the important thing. Because see, now your E is gone, which actually it actually like helps him win the fight now, which sucks for you. So like here again, like you should just ignore him and go for the point, but you shouldn't fight him until your E is back up, because you don't win until you have your E.
Okay.
And then what you could have done as well, if you really did want to fight him, sometimes what I like to do whenever they walk up to me like that is I just lead with the ult. Whenever he like walks up and smacks you,
Yeah.
you could have done that as well as you just straight up like right here, he's just sprinting at you like a psychopath, and as soon as he bonks you, you can just like instantly kidnap him right here. Right, there's no way you can dodge it because he's in melee range. So that probably would have been your best play, is you kidnap him right away, and then you spear him off of that, and then you W him off of that, and then you smack him for 10 damage, and by then your E will be back up, and he's already almost dead. So that would have been the better
Where's the
rotation.
best place to take him right here? I mean, now I'm thinking about it, but if I did grab him with the ult, would I want him off to the right to be like away from that well, as you
Yeah.
know, in the fort protection? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take him as far away from safety as possible. So yeah, kidnap him right here, drag him right here, and then it always guarantees a spear as well, because after they're kidnapped, they're stunned for 1 second. So it's like it gives you your own CC to follow up off of. So it's like a guaranteed spear, right? So you
Yeah.
R him, you drag him as far as you can, spear him after. That whole time he can't play the game, right? But you're still smacking him. So that's always the best case scenario for you. But yeah, see, even then you still won the trade, even though your E wasn't up yet. And he's pre-tapped here, but you should still be able to win this. Let's see. Nice, smacking, smacking. So right here, oh yeah. So it's always good to R first instead of spear first. Maybe you still win with R. Ooh, that's close.
Look at that. Dodge his ult.
Ah, he still won. So yeah, you're just waiting too long to ult is the main thing. You want to almost always lead with it when it comes to the melee
Okay.
heroes.
Got you.
Pretty close fight, but yeah, the tap is what really made the difference there. Because you even dodged his ult, yeah, he still won. And it's also the earlier trade wasn't the greatest for you. It was still a good trade, because he took more
I fought him in
damage.
the minion wave, yeah.
Yeah, but the issue was he tapped here,
Oh,
and you didn't. And it kind of all goes back to the fact that you had to cap this now. So like earlier, if you had fought him before he tapped, it would have been a lot better for you because you would have been contesting the point earlier on. And then yeah, you want to. So missing the spear there was big. So Ring first and then spearing is like more of a guarantee. And it's also like the other good thing about Ring first is if you do end up missing somehow, like even though he's in melee range, like let's say you just misclick or somehow he sidesteps it, you can always spear away after that. But if you spear first and then you miss your spear, well now it's like super tricky because you have no way to get out as well.
okay.
So yeah, that was a pretty big death, pretty big swing here, and it kind of all just stemmed back from not instantly contesting the point.
Now, what do you think about that combo
Sorry.
where Blaze is saying it might be better if I offlane?
Yeah, I guess because you died, he doesn't trust you now. So he's
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm
let me
thinking.
let me solo. It's fine. I mean, like I said, either way it works. So if you really think it's the wrong decision, just say no. But I mean, here it doesn't really matter. You can say yes or no. Okay, so they have the dragon. Blaze wants to offlane. Okay, no worries. Go help the team. Just defending here. Get hooked. Oh, nice follow up. Damage. This is all good. Maybe overchased a little bit there. Oh, nice wing got the kill. Yeah, this was all good. Fighting. Kinda sucks that they did have the dragon. So one thing is anytime they have an objective, I think we may have talked about this last time, but in general, the rule is like the team with the objective wants to bait you into fighting because they get value from the objective. So like this applies on every single map, like Infernal Shrines, Alterac, BOE, Tomb, Dragon. Anytime the team who has the objective, they want to fight you to like distract you basically. Like right here, they're kind of baiting you guys to fight. So normally I try not to fight whenever they have the objective, and
Okay.
the reverse thing also applies. Where whenever you have the objective, it's a good idea to kind of like troll them or maybe go for a small skirmish, go for something to like kind of distract them away from the objective because the objective is going to be getting free value, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like how I talked about earlier as well. Whenever you did get that first dragon at level 10, where it would have been nice for you to go top, or as you ended up doing bottom, while your team kind of fought them mid, right? So it's kind of like similar ideas. Like your team is keeping them preoccupied and potentially
Yeah.
going for kills, while
And then
you're
I had
just
those free shots on the fort, yeah.
yeah, so they're doing the same thing here in reverse. So it's always keeping that in mind. Like unless the kills are absolutely guaranteed, then it's fine to go for a quick fight. But otherwise, you want to try to not get baited into a fight and make sure that you're defending the objective because Valera she made a smart play down here and she noticed you guys were distracted and she ended up getting a ton of free value here. So it would have been better for you guys to just disengage right away and go deal with this because what ended up happening is you basically lost the whole fort for free. So,
Okay.
so even though you got a kill, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's worth. They're calling worth, and they're right because they lost one hero, but they got an entire fort. So it's like absolutely worth for them. So yeah, just trying not to get baited whenever they have the objective. Unless of course, if it's absolutely free kill and you're not losing too much, you still have time to go deal with it, then it's fine. But otherwise, always a good idea to like, okay, they have objective, please let's not fight. Because again, and it's also like if you do die as well, then it's absolutely a disaster, right? Because if they do end up somehow winning the fight, like 4v5 or whatever, or 4v4, and they have the objective going, then it's like doomsday because they can instantly start pushing with the objective. So it's like high risk,
Okay.
like kind of low reward for the most. Sorry, it's getting cooked. Okay, nice. Using your body to peel, potentially looking for a kill. I like your patience. It's really good patience on the spear there. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind with blind. So this is kind of higher level, but a good habit to have. Whenever you do get blinded on someone like Imperius, you want to try to wait. before you auto attack.
Okay.
And the reason behind that is these autos are doing nothing, right? And
Yeah.
you're
And that's
also
also how I heal.
yeah, and you're also taking free damage. So like it's better to kite. So, like okay, you smacked her, it's good. But here now that you're blinded, I would start running away because there's no way I do any damage to her now. And the only thing that could happen is now I'm taking free damage. So yeah, I would just kite away, go back to the team, and maybe when you're unblinded, if she's still chasing you, then you can turn back around and fight her. But in the meanwhile, while you are blinded for this 1 second, you want to just back away and wait for the blind to run out instead of because see now she's doing all this free damage back to you, and you can't do anything about it.
Right.
Okay, so here, let's see, were you peeling for the medic? I think you're peeling for the homie. I would have liked to see you go for the spear on Cassia here though. Okay, you went for an Unvalier to peel. That's fine as well. I think probably personally I would have went for Cassia, but I think this works as well to peel. Nice, got in the ship. Get to the chopper.
Cheesy.
Hey, uh-oh, Blaze died. Wait, how did Blaze die? Get solo killed by Rack? Did you guys both get solo killed by Rack?
I believe so.
Oh no, this Ragnaros is oh no, he's the king.
That's why I started thinking maybe this dude maybe his build is
Oh, it's so
making
close.
him way late game like better or something.
Ah, he's like
Would
1
have made
HP.
stronger late game.
That was a toss up. I mean, yeah, this is the best. Actually, if he has E at 1, it's even better. But this is a really good um, dueling build for sure. Yeah, because he gets the
Okay.
9% here. It is
Is this what
strong.
most rags take?
I think most would take E at 1 with E at 4, and they'd take this as well. Most take Lava Wave, which makes his fighting like with Sulfur Smash, his fighting is a lot stronger. But yeah, this Q
Yeah.
build is also pretty good. And yeah, I mean
Okay.
he does pack a good punch, but you should still be able to win that. And Blaze, it's kind of a toss up as well. It looked really, really close. Maybe
Yeah.
If he had bunker, he probably wins that. So kind of a bunker diff as well. Alright, so resetting. You guys both got soloed by Rag, it happens. Not really a big deal. At least they can't get the dragon. Oh no, Ming is dead. Okay, so here we should be running for our lives. Oh, we're fighting. Yeah, this is not a good fight. Because they have way more numbers. Hopefully we can still get out. Yeah, we did not get out. Yeah, so as soon as Ming dies, it should just be abort mission, Captain. So she shouldn't have died. She should have waited for you guys. So it's her mistake, but you don't want to like, compound on that mistake. I think she got
Yeah.
hooked or something. Let's see what happened. Yeah, it looks like she just got destroyed. Yeah, so once she's dead, you shouldn't even be looking for this fight. Morales does get hooked, so this is a good peel. But as soon as you ensure that she's out, you should try to get out as well. So like right here, I would just run with this. I would run up with this. Instead of going right, I would have went up so that you're
Okay.
running to your healer. And just making sure you get out. So I think you turn around. Yeah, like all these autos and stuff, it doesn't really matter. You're never going to kill this guy because they have everyone here, including their healer, and your Li Ming is dead, which is your main damage.
And the
So
tank's dead.
yeah, so there's no way you guys get a kill 2v5 here, or 2v4 here.
Yeah.
It's better to just run away and try to wait for everyone to get back up instead of staggering. You are padding the damage stats, but yeah, we end up staggering as well, which is pretty massive.
Worse.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they probably get the keep here. They
One of the
actually,
big things you talked about last time.
yeah, it's huge. It's always
Staggering
like
deaths.
the worst feeling when you just have to AFK because someone got caught. But it's like it's better than staggering for sure. And a lot of times the best play is to do nothing and just wait. Here they're gonna good kill. Okay, so we're trying to stall mid. It's good. Clearing the wave. So they are 20 now. So The right play here is to actually give the Dragon Knight and defend. Because your Blaze is still dead, and even if he's alive, this is a 20 to 18 fight. So you guys do not want this fight. It's better for you guys to just clear this out, give the Dragon Knight, and try to, minimize your losses as much as you can. Like right now, this is like code red. Like, let's just try to minimize our losses, try not to lose the game here until we get to 20. So stepping up here is too risky. It's better to give this Dragon, make sure everyone's alive, make sure we clear out the lanes, and let's try our best to defend. Because they probably can't end if none of you die. But right here, this is super risky because it's 4v5 and they're level 20. So this is super high risk, and it's kind of like almost no chance you guys win this fight because you don't have any good positioning, you don't have any good vision, and again, it's 4v5 and they're level 20. So right here, this is a situation where we would just give everything, give the dragon, is fine. Let's just make sure we push out bottom and we're ready to defend.
Even if we were 5v5 right now, the
Yeah,
fact that it's 20 to 18, we still can't statistically like beat them,
it's
right?
very low odds. Yeah, it's very low
It
odds.
comes down to like skill and then missing every skill shot ever.
Pretty much, yeah. You gotta hope one of them ints, or somehow you guys get to outplay. You would only do this situation if you're extremely desperate. It's like extremely desperate is like we're 100% gonna lose if they get the dragon. Like if it's like super late game or something, or like all your buildings are already gone. So like if you're already down this keep and you're maybe down another keep, then like maybe you just have to YOLO it and go for the low risk play. But here it's not too bad. Like the Dragon Knight is not that strong of an objective, especially because you got to have some pretty decent damage for it. So it's better for you guys to just cut your losses here and yeah, instead of taking the very low odds fight, like 4v5 level 20, you probably have like a 10% chance of winning this, maybe even lower. But 5v5, it's only like maybe 20% chance. So yeah, level 20 is a big power spike for
Right.
opponents. And yeah, now we're just gonna stagger here. Yeah, even with the, you got a nice ult there. Oh wait, does it work? Does a 20% chance work? It was almost got a kill. Oh, maybe did get one. Yeah, 1-for-1's not bad there. That's actually not too bad. And yeah, trading 1-for-1 when you're down a talent tier always worth it. So that was a fine death from you. The only issue though is that if we look back to the siege camp, it got way too much value.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice if you went and cleared this instead. Because the siege camp basically got, like, while you guys were balling there, let's see what it got. Basically got, it basically got what the dragon would have got. Yeah, it got like the whole keep. It went from like 80% to like 5%. So yeah, not worth it. Even though you traded 1-for-1, not worth it at all. Would have been better to just screw it, let them have it. Let's at least save our keep for now. And whenever they do siege in here, maybe we have a good opportunity to go for a fight if they overextend. Just like how they overextended here, you traded 1-for-1. It would have been better if it happened when they already had the dragon. That way you guys didn't already lose all this health, and you would have been in a better position to fight under your keep. And yeah, he lost the entire keep. Cool. Place done. Alright, let's fast forward it to when you respawn. Oh, your team actually won the fight. That's good. But yeah, they got so much value. So now you're down 2 keeps. Anytime you're down 2 keeps, it's almost always a good idea to just try to take any fight you can take. Because slowly you're going to lose the game to lane pressure. So the best play to do here is try to push out the waves and look for something super aggressive. As soon as we push out the waves, we invade their camp, we go hide in a bush, we go for a gank, anything aggressive. Anytime you're down 2 keeps like that, you should always be in like desperation mode. And same thing applies for opponents. You should always assume that if, let's say, you guys had both of their keeps, you should always assume that they're going to go for something risky because they have almost no other option. So always keep that in mind. If you're down 2 keeps or 3 keeps, be aggressive, take risk, and the reverse thing applies when they're down buildings, down 2 keeps. Try not to take too many risks and try to be aware that they're going to look for something crazy.
Okay.
So here, yeah, we just want to push everything out. Oh wait, your team's going for it. This is good. Team's going for the engage. They kind of have to. Again, you kind of have to be desperate. So we... Okay, medic gets out. Blaze gets caught. So I like the idea that you went to clear bottom. Let's see if there's any indication that you should have stayed. Because I do think, I mean, both plays are fine. I like to clear out the waves first before I look, but sometimes you don't have that luxury to have the time to go clear it. Like sometimes this is the only time you can fight, so you just have to go for it. So every situation is unique. So it's always good to just see what your team is doing as well and see how aggressively they're looking. So it doesn't look like anyone's pinging or anything. And yeah, you actually pinged that you're going bottom. So this is your team's mistake, actually. They should have backed away. So again, like both plays are fine. Going for the aggressive play is fine, like I said, because you're desperate. And also because this isn't too much of an issue yet. Like if it was all the way over here, then it's like super important that you clear. But since it's over here, you do have some time to look for a fast fight. So it's fine to fight. It's fine to go clear. Your team should have pinged or like typed that they wanted to fight. And you probably should have turned around a little bit sooner. I would say that's probably the only, like probably right here, I would have made the U-turn right away. So again, like keeping an eye on the map, even though you're thinking like, okay, I pinged, my team should just run away, which is true. But always remember that like people are gonna do whatever they want, right? And you have to adapt to that.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, so it's like
at this low level.
yeah, there's like even at high level, like sometimes I'll ping like don't fight, don't fight, and I'll even type it, let's not fight, let's not, and even then my team will fight, and it's like, bro, I pinged it and I typed it, so like it happens to me as well. But like at the end of the day, you still have to adapt to that and be like, okay, well even though I told them not to, it looks like they're still going for it, so screw it. Like I have to just, even though I feel like it's the worst play, like it's always like I said last time as well, like it's always better to make the play your team is making, even if you think it's wrong, right? Because you can always like somehow make a miracle happen whenever you guys are all together, versus like you making what you think is the right play, but your whole team is making a different play. So yeah, always just trying to play off the team. And so yeah, I would have just made the U-turn right here. So kind of a few seconds. You could have been there a few seconds earlier, like probably 4 or 5 seconds earlier, and that could have been the difference maker here. So yeah, always just keep an eye on the map and seeing what your team is doing. Yeah, if you're here a little bit earlier, maybe you could have helped finish the Stukov, or maybe you could have peeled or something. So yeah, now he's dead. So now, yeah, we just want to AFK. Oh no, she got hooked. Oh, huge. Oh, wow. Insane. Oh my god, that was insane from the team. That was an insane graviton. Oh, we don't see Rag? Does no one see the Rag? He's on your camp. So you probably should have noticed this. Again, like trying to be aware of everything that's going on, even though you're focused on clearing the wave here. This Rag is 1 HP on this camp, so you should have maybe seen that if you're a little bit more aware. See it again. It was only for like a split second, but I think it was enough time for you to notice.
Okay.
See it again. So this is your vision, remember. So right here, as your team is chasing, you're right here, so you should be looking at stitches right now, ideally. And you should see this right here.
Mm.
This is super illegal. This guy should not be allowed to do this.
Yeah.
So instead of, even though you do want to clear this wave, it is important that you eventually clear this. This is like a more urgent situation of like trying to secure this kill, or at the very least get him off your camp and finish the camp. And if you finish the camp, it'll help you clear out the next waves as well. So yeah, you shouldn't have stopped here. Even like assuming Rag had already left, which is like what I would have assumed as well. Like okay, Rag's out, Stitches is too far to chase. Assuming that's the situation, then yeah, this makes sense for you to clear. But since you did see Rag for a split second here, you should have instantly ran to this camp and try to contest it. And yeah, he could sit for free, which sucks, because now you're going to have to deal with it forever. Alright. The final fight probably coming up. See what we're doing. Okay, so we're kind of low. Team is still brawling. Okay, so here it's 4v5. Hold on, let me slow it down. See how we approach this fight.
Yeah, I noticed again with our tank again.
Yeah, your team should be backing up here because they have 5 here. Someone does have to clear this. So you guys should just back away here. Because giving this point is not a big deal. Because they're not on bottom yet. And they're not on mid yet. So you guys have time. You guys shouldn't be this desperate. Because Blaze is showing bottom. There's no way you guys win a 4v5. Maybe there's a small chance you do. But generally it's like too risky. Especially because you're already low as well. So what I would have liked to have seen is after you clear this wave, you should have just backed here and just trust, maybe ping your team back a few times and just trust that they're not going to die without you. But it's better for you to get full health because right now you're half health, so you're not going to be able to contribute that much. So yeah, after you clear this, let's just back. Maybe you go join the Blaze and go fight for bottom, or you guys group up mid and contest middle. But it's better for you to just get healthy here and take a breath here because you guys have time. Since they all just, we see all of them as well. So again, like I'm making these assumptions. You should always make these assumptions based on the map. So right here, okay, you see 4 top. So this is where I would back and say like, okay, well they have 4 top. They can't instantly get the dragon, right? They have to run all the way over here, cap this. Then they're gonna have to all run down here, cap this. Then they're gonna have to run here and cap this. So you have like 20, 30, 40 seconds. So this is a good time for you guys to take a breath. I'd ping the team back here, make sure no one's inting, get full health, get full mana, and try to regroup here. So yeah, it's a little too desperate here, basically. Oh man, this guy almost gets one shot. Yeah, team's just a little too desperate. Hopefully, do we make it out? Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's game here. Yeah, so this is just too desperate of a fight. 4v5 is almost never gonna work. And yeah, there was no urgency because Blaze is even getting bottom right now. So yeah, this is just a little too desperate, too urgent. It's the team's fault for stepping up, but it's also your fault as well in a way because you should have got healthy and you should have also potentially pinged them to back up. And yeah, that'll do it.
Yep.
Alright, any questions?
So when it comes to Dragon Knight, that map in general, do you have any advice for that map or guidance for that map?
The main thing I would say is that watching the map is extremely important on that map, like watching the mini map because there's so many things going on since both teams have to capture both points and there's a lot of ganking, a lot of skirmishes, so just making sure you're keeping a closer eye on the map is a huge thing. Splitting with a DK, like I said, making sure that you don't get baited into fighting with the DK as well whenever they have it. As well, I would also make sure that you're prioritizing soak and don't worry too much about the objective because the Dragon Knight is not that powerful. It's actually not too strong, especially because it's kind of like the Volskaya effect where whenever someone's in the Dragon Knight, their team fight is weaker. So you could always worst case scenario if they're winning on the map and you're having to deal with waves or you just can't fight for the point or you just can't contest middle, it's always fine to give the dragon. So like don't feel too compelled to like always contest the Dragon Knight. If it looks like a losing fight, like it's fine to give it. So I would say that's like a huge thing that I noticed with that map is like people they'll just suicide to go for the point.
Yeah.
Like whenever it's like okay, like there's almost no way I win this, but it's almost kind of like a mind control where people are like, oh, I can't give the point, I can't give the point, but then they end up dying and they lose the dragon anyways, right? So it's like, okay, well, if I'm gonna die and lose the dragon, I might as well just survive and give the dragon, and at least I can be clearing waves and like be ready to defend. So yeah, I'd say that's like the biggest thing is like don't worry too much about the objective.